moment of acknowledgement to the fans on the window of the car just a moment ago. And so Dale Earnhardt Jr. with that number 3 atop the scoring pylon tonight. Now, that's the big story. Let's talk about some of the other headline makers tonight. Shannon is with Joey Logano.
Well, if you have to finish second at Daytona, probably the best person you want to finish second to is that number 3 car. Joey Logano, everyone was holding their breath on that last lap. What was it like for you?
Man, I was trying to win it. I'm not gonna lie. I was trying as hard as I can, and I had a good restart and pushed a 3 way out there. And I said, all right, this is gonna be good. When the 6 gets back to me, I'm gonna have something to be able to pass him here. And my whole plan was to get him into 3, get the run down the back straight. That's where I was gaining my biggest run throughout the whole day, and get him into the turn and side draft him and try to win the race that way. And the 6 was coming to me, got to me. I was like, all right, here we go. And I started peaking high just so he knew it. And then I saw him peaking low, so I was like, he's not going to go with me, I don't think, here. So, I felt like I was going to get hung out, so I went back to the bottom. And when I went back to the bottom, I shoved the 3 out. So, I guess the good news is I probably gained a lot of fans by getting the 3 back in victory lane, which is pretty cool to see the 3 back in victory lane, by the way. But I wanted to get the Sport Clips Toyota victory lanes. I thought that'd be cooler for me. But it's cool. But I want to win races. Second doesn't mean much to me in a nationwide car. So I want to have trophies.
Joey Logano definitely wants to get to victory lane, but pretty cool to push that 3 there. Mike?
And your championship leader, Brad Keselowski, very much in the thick of things at the end of this race. It came down to restart. You were on old tires. What was that like?
Well, the tires are just worn out, and Kevin was spinning his tires, Dale was spinning tires, and you just don't want to run into each other and cause a big wreck and ruin our day. So came with a solid finish. Feel like we had one of the best cars, and just didn't quite catch the right brakes, but really proud of everybody at Penske Racing. They've been working hard and building this new car. Has got all these guys on overtime, and they busted their butt and gave me one of the best cars. So kudos to them, and congratulations to Dale. He's a good friend of mine, so glad to see him back in victory lane.
Kudos to Brad Keselowski. His championship point lead now 277 markers, the largest lead he's had all year, Alan.
A gain of 30 on the night at Daytona. As we look at the standings, talked about whether Brad would yard Carl Edwards or Carl would gain a chunk of ground. Well, kind of a standoff, which doesn't do anything good for Carl's championship hopes at this point in the season. More post-race from Daytona in just a minute. Well, after an exciting night at Daytona, we go to Chicagoland Speedway as the NASCAR Nationwide Series rolls on through the summer months. You can join us at one of these upcoming races by checking it out at NASCAR.com/tickets or the number at the bottom of the screen. Got some great venues coming up. The short track at Indianapolis, O'Reilly Raceway Park, Iowa, the road course in Watkins Glen, Michigan. The next time we'll see these new Nationwide Series next generation cars.
And then Bristol.
And then Bristol. A lot of good stuff coming up. So on the night tonight, the track, turn 2, seemed to be okay. Never heard anybody complaining about that. The new cars, wild but great.
Yeah, they did. They handled. They were a little bit shaky as far as the way they looked, but they still handled okay, and it was an exciting finish.
And the 3 car went to victory lane again.
Yeah, and he showed just why he's literally one of the best to ever drive here at Daytona, Dale Earnhardt Jr. And, if you look down the list a little bit, Jack Roush has to be pretty proud of his young guys. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finishing 3rd and Brian Eichler at 9th. 2 guys in the top 10 for him.
Kyle Busch came back to 7th after the 4-tire pit stop. But in the end, it was Dale Earnhardt Jr. who will make all the big headlines from tonight. Next Friday night, the NASCAR Nationwide Series at Chicagoland, ESPN at 7:30 Eastern. Sports Center is next, including more post-race coverage from here in Daytona. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is won tonight here at the World Center of Racing. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.